I'm Bron Stuckey, hi, and I'm from Sydney, Australia. And you might see here to my right something that gives you a hint of where I'm sitting today. I'm actually in New York in the American Museum for Natural History, where I've been engaging in one of my great passions, which is dialogue around games for learning. We've held an EduGame meet here today with indie game designers and educators wanting to get together and design the future of games in impact and discuss the big meaty issues that surround that. And this week in New York has been Games for Change and a whole lot of amazing events surrounding games in learning and games in our future. And how did I get to be part of this? My original studies were in communities of practice, and having carried out an interview with one of the people who now is a leader in games in learning, Professor Sasha Barab, I came to be introduced to the game Quest Atlantis. And as push come to shove over a number of years, I became a leader in the community that surrounded Quest Atlantis and engaged with children and teachers and parents all around the world using that virtual world game. And it brought me to see the community that can be built inside a game and the community that evolves outside the game and around the game, something Jim G has come to call affinity spaces. And I think there's an enormous power happening in those spaces. In most cases, they're organically forming, and as educators, we're trying to see how can we leverage that sort of community that happens in and around games. And those virtual world games like Quest Atlantis led me to become engaged in Minecraft, which has been the game changer around the world in terms of children's agency in learning and the sense of autonomy and the sense of creativity that they're being able to leverage inside that game. And Minecraft's been a big conversation this week in terms of what is it about Minecraft that makes it so different, and what brought Minecraft to school. And one of the big changes with that game is that it didn't come to school through the curriculum or through teachers, but it came through the passion of the children. And it's now a game that's growing very popular in classrooms, and certainly every parent watching this video or who hears the word Minecraft would know about it, often because they're trying to get their children to disengage to move on with something else. And the interesting thing around that leads me back to my passion about community is a lot of what I see children engaging in Minecraft is not just the play in the game, but the sense of social space, the sense of identity building, the community that they're creating inside the program. And the community that builds outside that as they leverage YouTube and photographs and other spaces to share their knowledge, the knowledge that they're building inside the game. So for me, my life has kind of come full circle, going from learning about communities of practice and professional learning to collide with games. And now I work in a space looking at game-inspired learning. So that's not necessarily using a game in a learning context or having children design in a game, but what a lot of people might call gamification. And that's really how can we leverage what we know is great motivation, great feedback, great identity building that happens in games. How can we leverage that in 21st century classrooms? How can we build that 21st century learning agenda and engage all of our children? Because what I see in Australia and here in America is that there is a high percentage of our children who are not engaged, who do not love learning, and learning should be something every child loves. And so we know that games can get kids to do really hard things and engage for a very long period of time and give them a great sense of accomplishment. And, as a colleague of mine said, wouldn't it be great if kids came to school with the attitude to win school? And not that I want to turn every classroom into a game, but I think there is a lot we can learn from games to make our classrooms more engaging. So while I've been here in America, I've been looking at game-inspired programs both for classroom engagement but also for professional learning. It seems quite normal to expect that teachers should engage in games to bring children to games. And so what we're trying to do is to get professional learning to adopt games or game-inspired attitudes so that teachers can taste this enjoyment. So they'll know why it is kids are so excited by games and gamified activities. So my kind of mission is actually to get more teachers to learn the way their kids do and to learn in the spaces that their kids do and understand what it is that excites children. Because the more they do that, the more they themselves will make more engaging spaces, more engaging learning environments and more engaging classrooms.